Well, now to take the deliberation forward with our experts in the studios, two experts joining us this evening, two senior journalists, Ashok Tandon, senior journalist in the studio, Shekhar Iyer joining us online. Let me first come to you, Mr. Tandon. This phase, we have seen 93 seats, 78 with the BJP. Is there more to defend, less to capture, or do you see it being an even fight between all the political parties in the field?
No, apparently BJP has an upper hand because they had all the 26 seats in Gujarat, all the 14 seats in Karnataka.
That's 40.
14 in this round, sorry. So I think BJP is not facing much of a challenge as far as Gujarat is concerned. And in Karnataka also, as your correspondent was also explaining, this North Karnataka has been a stronghold of the BJP. I think, but the challenge where the BJP has to work very hard is the 10 seats in Uttar Pradesh, because as your correspondent was also saying, a lot of the Mulayam Singh Yadav family have been put in the contest, and so we will see a very close contest in some of these seats, particularly in Mainpuri, where Dimple Yadav is contesting. And maybe some of the seats in Bihar also may see a very close contest between the NDA partners and the India Alliance partner. So, but I think one very important feature of this third phase is so many heavyweights are in the fray across the states. So, I think at least half a dozen cabinet ministers' stake is on the line. Maybe more. Amit Shah himself is there, Mansukh Mandviya is there,
the list is long.
So Gujarat also has a number of union minister. Former Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan is contesting, Jyotiraditya Scindia is contesting, Digvijay is in the field. So many, galaxy of candidates. I think that is one interesting part of this third phase. And but I personally feel that as far as the contest is concerned, there may be a good contest in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, particularly. These two states will witness close
good contest in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh in particular. Shekhar Iyer, phase 3 of elections, how do you see this particular election phase is over? 50% of the MLAs, their fates are sealed. How do you see this particular election purely in terms of narratives that we look forward to phase 4 to 7?
So when you compare the first round, I mean, the second, third and subsequent rounds, these are elections taking place in areas that are considered stronghold of the BJP.
True.
So, and therefore, you have also seen a very intensive campaign by the Prime Minister, by other BJP leaders. So the idea is not only to retain the gains of 2019, but also to see where improvements are possible. Of course, the opposition has been arguing that these are areas where BJP has already maximized. There is no further gain possible. But I do not think so. Of course, every week you are seeing new issues are coming up. New issues are being debated between the contesting parties. And of course, the overall, the running theme through all the three phases is, should we vote for Prime Minister Modi to get another term, rather a third term, or should we look for a change? If you look at the broad question, I think that is where the voters find that they cannot see what I would call choices to be made. That is the big point that is coming across. You have seen that on the social media, of course, the parties seem to even out the respective campaigns, accusations, counter-accusations. But on the ground, in terms of what kind of preparations have been undertaken, what kind of outreaches have been undertaken, how the candidates of different parties have reached out. So you will see that on the ground, despite the weather, many candidates have, undertaken very strenuous campaign. I would say belonging to all parties. And Prime Minister himself has led by addressing a series of meetings, notwithstanding the weather conditions. So have other ministers. And also the fact that in the courts also we have seen the issues that was first flagged in the first round, regarding whether you can allow reservation on the basis of religion, and then the questions about is there a necessity for a new survey to determine the caste configuration, or will there be an X-ray to determine what is the kind of wealth possessed by various caste groups, And I mean, these are the recurring thing which has seen new twists and turns, accusations and counter accusations. And you have
Okay.
also seen things have hotted up with new subjects being added to the discourse.
Okay, Mr. Tandon, we've seen we are into the third phase. Have you seen the issues, over the week, every week that we keep passing by? This is the single phase where we've had a longest break from phase 2 to phase 3. Do you see, the election campaigning picking up momentum in this longer gap that we've had in phase 3?
Certainly. So, the campaigning has intensified, new issues have also come up, especially if you look at the Prime Minister's speeches, a new number of other issues have been raised by the Prime Minister himself, and particularly if you look at the security issue has come up, the Pakistan issue has also come up in the wake of some incidents in Jammu and Kashmir. So, security issue is now which has entered into the poll arena now in the third phase. As far as opposition issues are concerned, they have been talking only about about the Prime Minister, that the Prime Minister has been shifting goalposts, he is shifting from one issue to another, but the core issue of the opposition so far has been only attacking the Prime Minister personally through different kind of names, etc., and that invariably we have seen in the last 2 elections also, that has always boomeranged. So, this time we thought opposition would be very careful in attacking the Prime Minister, but somehow the attack on the Prime Minister comes up, and the kind of reply which is given by Prime Minister himself, it has has not helped the opposition to the extent the people were expecting the opposition to raise issues which are positive rather than a negative issue, that the BJP can't get 400, they can't get 4, PM is not is doing something like that. So, the opposition campaign has not in fact intensified on the issues.
Okay, has not enthused the voters is how I would sum that particular point that you've made when it comes to the opposition camp. Let's quickly once again get down to the eastern part of India. We've got our correspondent standing by, Gautam Roy joining us from West Bengal, Tapas joining us from Assam, Siddharth Bharadwaj joining us from Chhattisgarh. Let's quickly come to Gautam first. Gautam, looking at West Bengal, all 4 seats in West Bengal, the interesting part is, this is an election headache, especially when it comes to the Election Commission of India holding elections in these 4 seats. How do you see the preparations on the ground from a security perspective?
Well, good evening, Anil. The preparations on the ground are pretty solid, if I could describe it as that, because this is an area, West Bengal in general is a state that has a history of poll violence, and Murshidabad and Jangipur, 2 of the 4 seats that are going to polls in this particular phase have had an even more bitter history of political violence. Even in the panchayat elections, the 3-tier panchayat elections that took place last year, if 55 fatalities occurred in poll violence throughout West Bengal, a majority of them took place in Murshidabad and Jangipur. Bombs have been found in Murshidabad over Saturday and Sunday as well. At least 25 of them crude bombs that would which were defused by the police. So there you have, in terms of the toughness of the exercise, over 400 companies of paramilitary forces, central forces have come in, and they will be at the polling stations as well to guard against anything untoward happening and ensuring that there's peaceful and smooth polling when polling starts at 7 a.m. on Tuesday, that's tomorrow, in these 4 seats. And this is a phase in which the Trinamool Congress, because in the earlier phases in West Bengal, the BJP got 18 seats overall and 42 seats, but those was a seat that were won by the BJP. This is the first set of seats where the TMC is defending its 2 seats among the 4. The BJP is defending 1, and the Congress is defending 1 as well. Each of them facing a challenge of their own here.
Okay, Tapash, decline in women candidates that we are seeing, but female voters outnumbering men, especially in this particular phase.
Absolutely, and if you take a close look at Guwahati constituency, it's between two women. The fight is, in fact, the last three times this particular constituency went to the polls, the woman actually came out on top. And this time also, both Congress candidate Thakur Goswami, Meera Thakur Goswami, as well as Vijita Kalita Medi from BJP, they both are, Vijay Kalita Medi and Meera Goswami are gunning for glory. They both are actually pitted against each other. Remember, the Congress candidate was in BJP and then shifted to Congress, so she would like to make her mark as a woman and as a Congress candidate, and somebody and BJP's candidate has been given quite a lot of support from the Assam CM and as well as from Prime Minister Modi, as well as from Home Minister Amit Shah. So a lot is going on at that end, but again, in this four parliamentary constituency, BJP is actually working in tandem with its allies in three of them. Only in Guwahati it's a direct showdown between BJP and Congress.
Siddharth, local dynamics, do they play a larger role or a major role in Chhattisgarh elections?
Anil, can you repeat your question, please?
I said local dynamics playing a major role in Chhattisgarh election?
Well, definitely, it has always been a bipolar contest here in the state of Chhattisgarh and Chhattisgarh, and since always, it's been decades that the competition is between the BJP and the Congress. Third parties tried their luck but couldn't make a dent this time around as well. It is very much expected that BJP will, have a resounding win, and Congress will definitely try to seek some numbers out here. But ultimately, Anil, it rests in the hand of voters who will be ultimately casting their ballots tomorrow, which is May 7, and will be deciding that who will be representing their respective constituencies. I would like to give you some numbers, Anil, as far as the preparations are concerned in the state of Chhattisgarh, where 7 seats are up for grabs. Election Commission is all geared up to facilitate the voters who will be coming. 168 candidates are there. Amongst them, 142 are male candidates and 26 are female candidates. More than 15,000 polling stations have been set up in seven constituencies where the polling will take place, and about 77,000 voting personnel will also be deployed. 60,000 police personnel and 202 companies of security forces to make sure that everything goes in a streamlined manner.
Meghna, I'll let you have the final.
Election Commission of India has ensured that voters will get proper drinking water and shelter when they go out to cast their ballots in scorching heat. Anil, back to you.
Okay, Meghna, I'll let you have the final word. How is Gujarat gearing up for elections, amidst this hot and simmering summer?
Absolutely, Anil, you mentioned it right, that it's really, really hot here in Gujarat, and about over 50,000 polling stations are there, and a lot of polling stations, about 23,000 locations for polling stations across the state, because the whole state is going to polls except one seat of Surat for the polls tomorrow. And obviously a number of about over 20,000 polling stations are in rural area, 15,000 are in rural area and 6,000 around are in urban areas. While there's always been this thing that rural voters go out to vote or semi-urban voters go out to vote, there's always an increase in the voting percentage, especially for the rural areas. But people in urban areas
let's hope
record a lesser percentage. So this time around, it's about to see that how much percentage.
Let's hope that more and more people come out to vote in this particular election phase. Thank you. Appreciate all four, Gautam Roy, Siddharth, Tapash and Meghna, joining us from different parts of India. Well, the Great Indian Election is your one-stop show on weekdays. What's in store tomorrow night? A sneak peek.
Phase 3 of the world's largest democratic election. 93 seats across 11 states and union territories. Press the button. Fate of former chief ministers, union ministers and dynastic satraps sealed. DD India, the election news headquarters, will analyze all the numbers as it unfolds on the Great Indian Election at 8:30 p.m. IST, only on DD India.
Well, that's all we have time for in this episode of the Great Indian Elections. Time for me to say goodbye to our two guests, Shekhar Iyer as well as Ashok Tandon in the studio. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Well, with that, it's a wrap of this edition. Bye for now. Take care. We're going to be back again tomorrow evening, same time, same channel. Till then, goodbye. Take care.